Okay.
Yeah, now I feel fine.
Okay, good.
Now that I'm warmed up a bit.
Well, let me stay on this side of the desk. Carrie was like, "You probably shouldn't have gone in yesterday." I was like, "I know, I just felt
This is
like
the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
Yeah.
If I do, I'll get over it.
Good morning, Tuscaloosa. Internet world, how we doing today? It's a hump day. Happy hump day. It's the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central, BamaCentral.com. Hope you and yours are doing well. Getting through the month of January. We're about halfway done with the first month of the year. So if you haven't started on your New Year's resolution, you're running behind. But we're going to have a lot of fun today in the Derry Daniel State Farm Studios. You can find the show on the Bama Central YouTube channel, on the Bama Central Facebook page. You can find it on my own social media machines at Joe Gaither 6. We're going to have a lot of fun today as we talk with Mason Woods about the transfer portal and about Alabama's Alabama basketball's victory last night. The Crimson Tide getting it done, 97-82, shorthanded, only 8-man rotation. Coach, maybe we need to just shorten the bench, man. Maybe we just need to shorten the bench.
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Exactly. Getting it done last night over in Starkville. We had Katie Wyndham and Hunter DeCiver over there for the coverage. Make sure you follow them at Katie Wyndham _ and Hunter DeCiver on the Twitter machine. They were tweeting, they were writing, they did all kinds of stuff on BamaCentral.com. We are in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios. As we said, Derek has updated his marquee. Do not crash as you're driving by. His marquee right here on 69. He is right here past the Tiger Rock on the left. If you're coming from McFarland Boulevard, and he's got his marquee written upside down, and it says, if you can read this, you're in an accident. Make sure that you call Derek for all of your insurance needs at 205-758-3391. Like a good neighbor, Derek Daniel is there. And, of course, the program is brought to you by Purple Turtle Roofing. You can call Purple Turtle Roofing at 877-787-6635 for your free roof inspection today. We may or may not have Brax Garrison join us today. He's very busy up on all kinds of roofs and doing those free roof inspections. He said maybe not tentative, so he might be up on somebody's roof right now, making sure that their trouble spots are looking good, making sure that their shingles are not broken or cracked. He's going to get up on your roof today. Call him at 877-787-6635 for all of your roofing needs. They specialize in commercial roofing, residential roofing, emergency storm repairs, full-on roof replacement, insurance claim support, and more. So, look, you don't have to worry about, I can't afford a new roof. It will work with your insurance company. And if you're a homeowner in the state of Alabama, you have homeowners insurance, so they will work with your insurance company to make sure that you are safe and secure inside your home. Call them at 877-787-6635 today. With that, we're here with my man Mason Woods. I don't know about what this camera just did. If it's a connection issue, there we go. There you go. Hey, there we go. If that's a connection deal or not, but Mason Woods joins us. You can follow him at MAWoods _ on the Twitter machine, writing all things recruiting for the Walsh Writing Network. Hanging out yesterday, you were writing about a Vanderbilt basketball recruit. Wasn't he tearing it up in his high school days? Was that what I saw?
Vanderbilt and Missouri both. So for Vanderbilt, Anthony Brown averaging right now, I think 28.9 points a game in high school. Like you said, I mean, just completely tearing it up. He's shooting over 50% from the field, 40% from three, just dominating at the high school level there at Archbishop Carroll High School in Washington, D.C.
Nice.
And then for Missouri, the crown jewel of the 2026 class, Jason Crow Jr., 5-star point guard, 5-star guards, wing, hybrid, whatever you want to put him at, basically. Recently, I think it was back in December, I want to say like December 9th or 10th, somewhere around there, he set the California all-time scoring record for high school. And he has just continued to extend his lead extremely wide now. And he's averaging over 40 points a game.
Gee, whoa.
Unreal. Also shooting over 50% from the floor, 40% from three. So, Bama, everybody else catching up in the SEC.
Well, they are catching up, but Alabama put on a good performance last night. Let's start with basketball. We'll move to recruiting, transfer portal stuff after that. But we always like to start with the actual action, and the boys were over there at the Hump and got it done, 97-82. They were down. You probably didn't see
down
it.
By, 10 or so at one point?
Right. You may or may not have seen it because Tennessee and who the heck were they playing? Texas A&M.
That was infuriating.
Were playing. They were down as much as, that's second half. Let me flip to the first half. Home 10, home 11, home 14. 14 was the highest lead for Mississippi State. They were Mississippi State was up 29-15 in the first half. But yeah, I was sitting there watching on ESPN2. I go at 8 o'clock, I just go to flip it on because, I was doing some other stuff, cooking. And 8 o'clock, let's flip it over. And Tennessee and A&M have 50 seconds left in the regulation. And I was like, oh, this is a close game. And I sat there for a second. And I closed out my cable, went over to the ESPN app because I knew they were starting on ESPN. And Tennessee and A&M went double overtime.
Yes,
so you missed the whole first half if you don't have it on the ESPN app, if you didn't log in to watch it. Because when Bama went to halftime, I said, surely I can flip back over to my cable and watch it because, they're back on the right. And as I flip back over, there's like 4 seconds left in double overtime for Tennessee. And I was like, holy moly. So you may have missed it. But Alabama was down first. They were down by 14 points and then just dug their way back in, ended the half up by 2. And then from there, it was just a slaughter fest. It was on from there. So I thought Alabama played pretty impressively yesterday. They were 27 of 33 from the free throw line. That's a big one for going back to the last game against Texas, kind of junking it up at the free throw line. They made 12 of 34 threes. They ended up rebounding. They ended up out-rebounding Mississippi State, and they did it without Taylor Bowen, without Keaton Bristow. Obviously, Davion Hanna and Collins Onyeka are dealing with medical issues. They're kind of on the end of the bench right now, and no Latrell Wrightsell as well. So you got 5 guys. You're down 5 guys. You're really 4. We've been down Collins pretty much the whole year, and Davion lately. But you're down 5 guys, technically speaking, and you got an 8-man rotation. LeBaron Philon, 32 points. Aiden Sherrill. Mason, I know you're an Aiden Sherrill head. This is a big moment. 22 points. 22 points, 5 rebounds for Aiden Sherrill. Amari Allen with the double-double, winning the hard hat. 13 points, 13 rebounds, getting it done. Even Noah Williamson, no points, but 5 rebounds, getting out there. 2 assists as well. 16 minutes of action for Noah Williamson. And I will personally say, as I watched him, I thought, wow, you look like that 5% more athletic. Sure, you missed the 2 threes that you took. You were 0-5 from the floor, but you got me 5 rebounds. You guarded the rim just a little bit. You were active on defense. Like, my man, that's all we need. Great job. So I'm walking away feeling, 3, 5, 10% better about this team because I think that they're just going through growing pains. And I think they're going through who's the leader. Are we going to do the little things right? Are we going to care about winning? Are we going to maximize our potential? So I walked away. I was on the phone last night watching the second half, kind of eating my dinner and just enjoying it. They took care of business, Mason. What did you think about last night's game?
I mean, I'm right there with you. I was very impressed with the performance you got out of them last night. It started off, like we said, they got down and it was looking up. It's exactly what we thought was going to happen tonight. Alabama, you're shorthanded. You can't overcome it, whatever. But then they gritted their teeth and they fought back into it. And then, dominated the second half. Left no question about it. The Alabama won this game and they won it handedly. And I think I'm right there with you where, it just feels like they are fixing a bit of these growing pains. They are just learning as the season goes, which I would have liked had they figured this out before the season started, but whatever, here we are. And I do think they are figuring things out. I think they are figuring out who the leaders are because, it's really different without Mark Sears out there. This team went as Mark Sears went last year. And now it feels, I know LeBaron is maybe the easy person to point to as the leader, but I don't know that LeBaron is really.
Has he ever done that in his life?
Yeah, I don't know that he has really been ready to step into that role as quickly as maybe people expected him to. And I think, just in general, the team doesn't really feel like they point or look at one person on any given moment. It's always just back at Nate. And you got to have a team that you're a player who is going to be a leader out there. And, I feel like LeBaron stepped up a bit last night and really stepped into that role. I mean, 10 for 14 from the floor was insane. 9 for 10 from the free throw line. Aiden Sherrill, 10 for 11 from the free throw line.
Great job, Aiden.
I was really pleased with what I saw last night.
Yeah, Aiden Sherrill, 2 of 6 from beyond the arc. If you could make us 2 threes a game,
good.
like maybe 2 of 5 would be a little better. But like if you
keeps the defense honest.
Yeah, it opens the floor a lot, and it lets LeBaron and it lets Aiden Holloway drive the lane and get in there and draw fouls and basically spaces the floor a lot more. So I was really just impressed with the way that they just sort of flipped the switch. They're down by 14, and Hunter Cyber wrote about it today, put it as the Bama Central cover this morning, basically writing that you had one of the timeout huddles, and he said that he said a lot of guys were chirping pretty loud. Hey, we can't do this. We gotta come on, guys. We gotta figure this out. We gotta lock in. We can't let this one slip away here. He credited Taylor Bowen, who was out. He credited Taylor Bowen. He credited Preston Murphy Jr. He credited LeBaron and Aiden Holloway, and Houston led as well. So it said that whole huddle there with 7-8 minutes left in the half, really kind of got the whole thing going, and those guys are starting to find themselves. I think really specifically Houston is starting to get looked at as, hey, you're the old man leader. What do you say?
Yeah.
And I think did you see him after the game?
Mm-hmm.
They had LeBaron on the headset, on the SEC Network headset, and they were all giving him praises. And Dari Noko goes, "Oh, won't you turn and ask your teammate, why the heck does Houston wear 95? And Houston gave him the answer that we all know. Mm-hmm. Oh, you play basketball 95% of the time without the ball. So I want to be very good at that 95% of the time. And the whole team was like, yeah, that's hard, man. That's so hard. That's,
Good. This is, those kind of things are what a team needs to continue to grow and, evolve as a team. Like I know that it's not anything to do with X's and O's or what actually, but like those little moments and things I think are big for a team's morale as you get through the season. It's a long basketball season.
Huge, yes, it's a long basketball season. So Alabama, you're 2-2 in the league right now. Let me scroll down. So many dang basketball leagues on the ESPN. Patriot League, OPQRS, Southwest, Sunbelt. Oh, I passed it. Oh, right there. Yep. So Vanderbilt is 3-0 in the league. You are sitting there, A&M, Florida, Georgia, Arkansas, and Missouri at 2-1. So they're all kind of several of those teams are going to play tonight. Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah. You'll have Georgia play tonight. You'll have Arkansas, Missouri. They'll all play tonight. Alabama at 2-2. You're 1.5. You're basically who's Vandy playing tonight? So Vandy's going to play tonight as well. You're 1.5. You might be 2 games behind the Doors. They're playing Texas. They're playing Texas, so they're going to probably beat the heck out of them.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, maybe. But you're sitting there 2 games off, and yes, obviously losing to Vanderbilt in the second game of the SEC season, it kind of hurts your stakes of, hey, we want to win this this conference tournament or conference title. But you're right there in the mix. And I thought the guys had a nice bounce back to their 2-game slide, losing to Vanderbilt in Texas.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got a decent chance here to maybe go get a couple wins moving forward. You got Oklahoma coming to town, or you got to go to Oklahoma, then you got to play Tennessee. And, Tennessee, I'm upset with Texas A&M for blowing that game last night because they had it. I mean, they had that game in their hands, gripped tightly, and they just imploded in the final 15 seconds. There.
Buckyball.
Yeah. But, like I said, the next 3 games, I think, should be, in theory, winnable games for Alabama against Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Mizzou.
Yeah, our Manny Kenny Pomeroy has Alabama beating Oklahoma, beating Tennessee, beating Missouri, and then having a tough one on the road at Florida. So we'll see how the next 4 games go. But as Mason just said, Saturday at noon, Alabama is going out to Norman to take on the Oklahoma Sooners. Kenny Pomeroy has them 89-84. Oklahoma is 59th in KenPom. Oklahoma is 59 in KenPom. What do I see? Oh, Joker. What wrong page, down to 59. They are 34th in offensive efficiency and 137 in defense. It's still Porter Moser, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
I just had to look it up to confirm myself.
Yeah.
Did he leave?
So, okay offense, not so hot
Yeah.
on defense. Alabama, after last night's game, is still at number 2 on offense and went up just a little. I think they were 79 before the game. They're at 74 in defensive efficiency. So, better analytic marks than both in both categories than the Oklahoma Sooners. So, should be. Look, guys, if we can get, I'm sick of saying it, but if you can get the guys healthy. And the problem is you got the guys not healthy, and so it's junking up Coach Oates' like decision making just a little bit. Now I have everybody healthy. How do I manage all 13 players? How do I manage all 12, 11 players? You know, with only 8 last night, it became a little bit like
It's pretty simple.
One in, one out.
Yeah.
You know, pretty good little rotation.
Not much
night.
room for thought there.
I think I'd rather have 10 available, you know.
Yeah.
But obviously that's still part of what they're going through. Taylor Boboan, he said, has a hand or wrist injury. There's rumors that it's a broken hand. I don't know if I believe that, but he said that he could come back pretty soon. So I don't think I believe that. Yesterday he said that Keaton Bristow had a leg injury and probably is going to be a little longer term issue. That's really disappointing to me. That's really disappointing.
Is the Alabama basketball facility like directly beside an electrical substation or something? Is that
I saw that on Twitter last night. I did see that. He's got the 49ers.
Yeah, we've got the 49ers injury bug.
Well, okay. We think just putting our tinfoil hat on, very tinfoil hat? Do we think the construction, the practice facility construction?
There's too much dust on the floor. Guys slipping around. Banging into corners and things. Oh, well, that wall wasn't there last week. I don't know. It's possible.
Yeah, maybe like the construction, all the power generated, I don't want to say radiation because that's not what's happening, but like just
it's the waves, man.
Kinetic energy, but coming over into where they're actually practicing because they're constructing. Like they're getting close to having the practice facility done. But I mean, it's still a construction zone right there where they practice.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go on site to investigate ourselves.
Yeah, maybe
they let us in.
Like the noise, like jackhammers. Is the noise messing with?
Unfortunately, it's probably just this is a team of 18 to 22-year-olds who you're gonna struggle to get them to do what you want outside of being there at the facility.
Yeah, so we'll see.
But hey, they looked dang good last night. It looked like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, and knock on wood in case anything comes out today, I guess, but. Nobody went down with anything last night that I recall, so we will, see how the week progresses. I reckon, but you're feeling pretty good.
Yeah, so I think it was a good night. Josh Hubbard got 23 points for Mississippi State, who's always going to score a bunch of points. That's okay.
You stopped him from scoring in key moments.
Right, and really, you got after the rebounding, 47 rebounds to 43, which is an area that's been just.
Mari Allen with 13 boards.
Won the hard hat last night, and he just looks like an actual dog.
Yeah,
he looks like a first-round pick.
That's exactly what I was just about to say. Our friend Hunter DeCiver tweeting out yesterday, or kind of saying that LeBaron Philon was the only Alabama player mentioned in ESPN's latest NBA mock draft, and it's like, well, I hope that people keep forgetting about Amari Allen because I'd like for him to come back, but I don't think that's going to happen much longer.
Yeah, so Alabama getting it done over in Starkville, and they will be traveling again on the road to Norman on Saturday. So we'll see what the other half of the SEC schedule looks like tonight as Vanderbilt plays, as a lot of the programs play. Let's see schedule. Let's see who all is on the schedule tonight. If our dedicated listeners and viewers are curious, the SEC schedule. Wednesday, not Tuesday, is Ole Miss at Georgia, Auburn at Missouri, Kentucky at LSU, Vanderbilt at Texas, South Carolina at Arkansas. So we'll see how those teams fare.
Auburn Mizzou might be a good one. It might be a fun one.
MIZ.
Yeah. Tiger v. Tiger.
There you go.
I think two good teams that just have not quite put it together yet this season.
I think you could say the same about Alabama, but they put it together last night. So really, really nice to see. Maybe they can build off of it on Saturday. Hey, so let's move to football, and we've got a couple of stories to talk about. We've got Ty Simpson, his commentary yesterday to Chris Lowe. You've got the return this morning of Yanzi Pierre and Keon Sabb. Combine that with the return yesterday 2 days ago, of Bray Hubbard. You've got the departure of Jordan Renaud. Jordan Renaud enters the transfer portal yesterday. You have the addition of a defensive lineman from Washington. Let's see.
Originally from, Birmingham area.
Parker, baby. Parker Thundering Herd. Caleb
Big
Smith.
old boy.
Caleb
6'5",
Smith.
270.
So why don't you pick which angle you want to start with?
Let's start with Ty. That's the hot story right now. I think that everybody's probably got the most on their minds. I mean, look, did you expect Ty Simpson to say anything else, folks? He was never going to another school. He is the epitome of Bama through and through, and you got to respect it. I respect it wholeheartedly. I think that mentality is really lost in college football right now, and it's nice to see somebody trying to bring it back a little bit. I know that, a bunch of people, and myself included, could say that, hey, man, you're passing up a lot of money, and, the draft is not a sure thing, but at the end of the day, he himself could not have seen him, he couldn't have seen himself playing anywhere else, and I don't think any of us could have seen him playing anywhere else. So I'm happy that he's sticking with his pledge to go to the NFL, and he's not going to take any of that Miami blood money.
Who was picked 15th last year? Who was picked? Okay, we'll just go to right there, right off the page. Matthew Golden, 23rd overall to the Green Bay Packers. Let's see, Matthew Golden. What kind of deal did you sign, Matthew Golden, at 23rd overall? Matthew Golden contract. Let's see, full guaranteed rookie contract worth $17.5 million. Large signing bonus around $9.4 million. And the reason we're looking at 23, the reason we're looking at last year's draft, if you're not familiar with it, all the draft places are pre-slotted. You get taken number 1, it's for this value. You get taken number 32, it's that value. And so I think that Ty is going to still end up somewhere between 9 and 30. 9 and 30 is kind of where I see him ending up. And if you're at 23, like our friend Matthew Golden, who caught his first touchdown pass of the year on Saturday, you made $17.5 million.
Yeah, I mean, what is that, 4.2 a year or something like that? 4.25 a year?
That's not bad.
Not bad.
And it's 9.4 right off the bat. Signing bonus 9.4 right off the bat.
Shoot, you wake up the day after you get drafted, that is in your check or in your account.
And so Ty yesterday, he does two things. From a news standpoint, he officially signed his paperwork. Yeah. Today's the deadline to put your name in and sign the paperwork. Yesterday, he officially signs the paperwork. So no more college. He also goes and chats with Chris Lowe and formerly of ESPN, now of On 3, and talks about how difficult of a decision it was.
Really spilled the beans.
Yes. Hey, he said, I'm not behind this Alabama this communication wall anymore.
Yeah. He gave so much more in that than he ever gave in anything while he was the quarterback here.
If you can't get behind the On 3 paywall, or you haven't read it on Bama Central or any of the other aggregating sites, he says that first Tennessee and Ole Miss and Miami were all offered him $4 million. Okay, I know I'm never in the transfer portal, but okay, thank you. And then
funny how that works.
Miami moves on after they miss out on Sam Levitt, and Sam Levitt's now at LSU, and they say, okay, we'll give you $6.5 million. And apparently Ole Miss said, yeah, that's fine, we'll match it. And from there, Ty's like, well, shoot, do I go down to Miami for 8 months worth of work and $6.5 million? Or, good offensive line, cruddy conference, just ball out. Probably a better running game than I had here this year. Ball out and still, try to be a first-round draft pick. Or do I move on right now? And he basically told Chris Lowe, I couldn't picture myself anywhere other than Alabama. He said, I got my handprints in Denny Chimes, and I don't think he's done that quite yet, but he will this coming A-Day. They'll knock that out. But he basically cites legacy and loyalty and opportunity after football. I mean, shoot, if Ty Simpson's NFL career flames out on his rookie deal 4 years,
come on back to town, buddy.
Right, he's gonna be
somebody's got a spot for you.
Businessman X or shoot. You may see, if Kalen DeBoer's still around, which I hope he is, you may see Kalen DeBoer say, hey man, we're adding you to the staff.
I'd be fine with that. I think you'd be. I think you could do a lot worse than adding Ty Simpson to your staff.
So Ty basically cites loyalty and longevity, and I think that's a great thing.
Yeah.
I think it's something that's lost on the current crop of college athletes going into the portal year by year by year. Let's say you look. We can talk about Noah Rogers, the new wide receiver that's coming in. Noah Rogers. I hope that you have 2 good years in Tuscaloosa, then you go to the NFL. But if that's the case, then he will be kind of embedded as an Alabama player. But
Sure.
if he's Tyler Harrell, if he becomes Tyler Harrell, where's Tyler Harrell going to take his family and take his kids and have sideline passes? And wasn't he from Louisville?
Mhm.
Right. So a year and change at Louisville, a year and change at Alabama was meh in both areas. Like Noah Rogers, you were at Ohio State your first year, redshirted, didn't play. At NC State the last 2 seasons. Fine years, but nothing special, really. Nothing that's going to remember Noah Rogers? Like Jameson Williams, he came to Alabama and was just like, oh, I'm just lighting this whole place on fire.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to remember me and love me. And we do. But
and has since like been very public about he's a Bama guy.
Right. You take a risk if you're not like incredible, if you're not like really daggum good. And so for Ty, he said, I'm just going to stand on what I've already done. I'm going to stand on taking waiting around, being loyal. I'm going to stand on taking my team to the SEC championship game, winning the first college football playoff road game in history. And then, oh, by the way, here's everything that I was dealing with this year. He talked about a bulging disc. He talked about bursitis. He talked about inflamed stomach lining as an adverse reaction to medication. He talked about breaking a rib against Indiana, and it's like,
guy battled.
Right, he was in there every week for this team.
Yeah, I think there's You've all heard what I had to say about the way he played this season.
Sure.
But like I again just very much respect this this perspective from Ty Simpson. I think it's nice to see. And I know that, we kind of rag on the whole NFL teams are going to love a kid like that, but there is a bit of that to this where like, a GM looks at that and says, okay, I like somebody with an attitude, with a personality like that.
I totally agree. I think that there's going to be, you were dealing with what this year? Oh, up 3 rungs on our draft board. You didn't sit out, up 3 rungs on our draft board.
Yeah.
Oh, you showed loyalty. You dealt with. I mean, how many dang systems did he deal with? Offensive coordinators did he deal with? 2 years of Kalen, and then Kalen had Nick Sheridan and Ryan Grubb. He dealt with Tommy Reese. He dealt with Bill O'Brien. Like 4 or 5 different offensive coordinators when he was here. So he's showing these NFL teams that, hey, year to year, I can pick up and learn an offense. I think that he is only helping his draft stock with the information that's coming out. And then when he gets into the room, he said that he got 18 teams evaluating him, and 17 of them gave him first round grades. And he said the other one that didn't said that he could interview his way into the first round. Said he was a second rounder, but could interview his way into the first round.
I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah. I'll just ask you, Mason, if all the information that's come out about the injury situation, does that move you a little more like, oh, he was pretty good?
I mean, yeah, I'll cut him a little more slack.
Sure.
I still think he just falls in he was pretty good category.
Sure. Okay.
He wasn't really elite, wasn't really great. He was great at times. He did a couple elite things here and there, but I think overall he was pretty good. He was definitely above average. I think he was. People look to the stats and the QBR and stuff, and Jalen Milroe was he was better than Jalen Milroe. He was a lot better than Jalen Milroe, I think. He gave Alabama a bit at least of that stability, of that consistency that you were looking for at the quarterback position this year, and you can't fault him for that. He got hurt. It just is what it is. I cut him a little bit more slack now after hearing that.
The other topic that came to my mind from these quotes was, if you're dealing with this many injuries, I'm sorry, but I go to, was Austin Mack and Keelan Russell, were they not ready? Or were they not I'm sorry, you threw Ty Simpson out there against Eastern Illinois, and I'm sure it's about rhythm and getting the offense humming again at that point because you were kind of into a little funk, but you can't give my man a week off. Like I get it against Oklahoma, that defense is super complicated. You want a great mind out there. You want somebody who understands things, but could Austin Mack not give you a week?
I don't think you were telling Ty Simpson he has to sit out.
Well, I think that's probably a big part of it right there. But
I do think, like you're saying, I think that's definitely part of the equation here is that they did not feel that either of those guys were ready last season. So I mean, is that giving me any bit of concern going into this year? Not really, to be honest.
I wasn't trying to say that,
but I do think that is part of the equation there of like, Ty's banged up, sure, but we really don't think either of these guys are ready.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to say that I have concerns for them in 26, but I just was like, man, Austin, you've been in the system for two.
They might not have been this far along as we maybe expected them to be.
Sure. And you don't want to disrupt any team chemistry, and you didn't want to give, the college football playoff committee was it Jordan Travis? Was that the Florida State quarterback's name? Jordan Travis. You didn't want to give them any ammo, any fuel.
And I mean, not that they care about it really in the facility, but that does also just give fuel to the swath of Alabama fans and media members like myself. Or, well, we need to see what the other two guys have. Ty's not the answer. He's not the guy. I think it shows just you're riding with your guy.
Yeah. So Ty ends up basically an Alabama hero, and I think that is probably a correct designation for him. Staying around so long in an era where people don't stay around. And I do, like I said, I'm going to stand on that. I think 9 to 30 is probably his range. And I think really probably 17 to 20 is probably his range. And maybe that's me overvaluing him.
I think he's going to drop. I think he's going to be right there at the end of the first.
Well, who was
headed out to LA, baby?
Who was drafted 23rd? Or who was drafted 32nd? Josh Simmons, offensive tackle from Ohio State. Jahad Campbell, 31. Let's see.
I remember that still.
Jahad Campbell.
How did the NFL let that happen?
Jahad Campbell at 31 signed a 4-year fully guaranteed contract, $14.9 million. So $15 million.
Pretty good still.
Deal, $7.4 million signing bonus. So he woke up the next morning with $7.4 million. And so Miami, $6.5 million. Miami, you
should have upped those numbers, Hurricanes.
Right. Now, granted, for Miami, it's a 1-year deal, $6 million, and you can go cash it in again. But I don't know. I think if you wanted to also maintain the loyalty factor and also maintain the life after football factor, then you make this decision.
I mean, like at the end of the Ty, he told us 17 of the 18 teams I talked to told me I was a first-round pick.
Yep.
If it was me, I'm probably going off of that information also and going ahead and declaring for the
That's
draft.
over half of the teams.
Yeah, like you feel pretty good about your odds there, I think.
And surely in that 18, 3, 4 teams consider themselves quarterback needy.
I would imagine at least 3 or 4 of them.
Right. So Ollie Woods joining us on the YouTube machine. Ty Simpson is a class act, and the way the whole season played out makes a lot more sense now. Totally agree. All right, let's I'll tell you about Purple Turtle Roofing, and then we'll talk about these roster trends, these roster movements. We're here in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios, but we are presented by Purple Turtle Roofing. At Purple Turtle Roofing, we're not just another contractor. We're your neighbor and your advocate when it comes to protecting your home or business. With years of hands-on experience, top-tier certifications, and a commitment to excellence, we've built a reputation as Alabama's go-to roofing solution. We specialize in residential roofing, commercial roofing, emergency storm repairs, full-on roof replacements, insurance claim support, and more. Call them at 877-787-6635 for all of your roofing needs. Brax Garrison or one of his teammates will come give you a free roof inspection. They'll get up on your roof, whether it's a metal roof, a shingle roof, it doesn't matter. They'll get up on that roof and let you know what's troubling. If you've got any spots to worry about, they'll work with you on your chimney. They'll make sure that you have the peace of mind and security in your home that you deserve. So we appreciate Purple Turtle Roofing for sponsoring the program. Look, if you want to see it for yourself, you can go to their website or you can find them on any social media machine. They're big on TikTok. They're big on Facebook. They're right there on Instagram as well. Brax, just type in Brax Garrison, and he's posting pictures of all the new roofs that he's got. So if you've got trouble or you think you've got trouble, call them at 877-787-6635. They'll come out and give you a free roof inspection. That's right, free roof inspection. So all you got to do is call them, Schedule your appointment. They'll give you the information that you need to work with and to deal with and to make good decisions for yourself. And then if you have to make a decision, they'll work with your insurance company as well to make it an easy process, because nobody likes a lot of construction in their home. They'll get in, get out, get it done, and you'll have a brand new roof if you call Purple Turtle Roofing at 877-787-6635. All right, let's keep going here on the Joe Gaither Show on a Wednesday. We appreciate everybody who subscribed to us on Apple Podcast, Amazon, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. You can find the Joe Gaither Show. Tell the show about tell your friend about the show, because we're talking Alabama sports 5 days a week right here in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios on BamaCentral.com. Where I want to go to next, Mason, is I guess the only departure yesterday is Jordan Renaud, and yeah.
That's a tough one.
In a way, it is.
I think you're okay, but tough.
It's tough in the sense that you don't have a single a single bandit left that had real contributions last year. LT Overton is out of eligibility, going to the NFL. You have Keon Keeley is at Notre Dame, and Jordan Renaud is now in the portal. So those three guys, and really Kelby Collins is over at South Carolina. He got a little bandit work as well. All three, and really four guys all gone. So you're restarting at the bandit position. Pretty tough, I think. But Jordan Renaud specifically, like all of those guys. All those guys, really. I mean, LT, the best of the group, the best of the four. All those guys were just potential.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
And I do think the potential was good and relatively high.
But we need production.
Exactly. Like, Keon Keeley may go to Notre Dame and tear it up against Navy and Army and Boston College and Stanford. And
well, they play USC.
Not anymore. Yeah, they're ending that series like a bunch of bozos. Like a bunch of bozos.
Joke of a school. I hate Notre Dame. I will always hate Notre Dame.
Play an actual schedule, please. Let's just start with that. No, what we want.
You see, Marcus Freeman is We've gotten off. Marcus Freeman's addressing the media today for the first time since his team was snubbed from the college football playoff.
Yeah. Do you think? I think there's a 10% chance that he says, "Deuces, I'm out."
That'd be awesome.
That he says, "We got screwed. The Giants are calling. I'm out."
I could see it.
We got screwed. The Titans are calling.
I mean,
No.
I'd be happier with that than I would be Matt Nagy.
Yes.
But my sights are set on a few coaches, and he's not one of them.
We got screwed. The Steelers are calling.
I can see it.
Yeah. So
I mean, I think the NFL is certainly calling. It's just whether or not he wants to make that jump. And look, if he does, wouldn't blame him one bit. If I was a college football coach, I would be doing everything in my power to get to the NFL. And I know a lot of them are. That is the ultimate goal for people. But man, there's just an infinitely more amount of BS that you have to deal with at the college football ranks than you do in the NFL. Yes.
In the NFL, at the minimum, you have set weeks where you're off. No worry. You can go to vacation with your wife. You can go vacation with your family.
Buddy.
Right.
Especially if you're coaching for the Giants. I mean, you'll be there all the time. You're never making playoffs there.
You got GMs to deal with roster management. Now some of the coaches do that as well, but like everything is a lot more black and white lines.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest headache that you maybe have to deal with is a disgruntled player that is requesting a trade. It's not, half of my entire roster just hit the transfer portal and is going to the teams that I will be playing next season. Like it's you just don't have to deal with any of it.
You probably can actually coach a guy because he's under contract for 4 years.
Yeah. I would be doing everything in my power to bounce the NFL if I was Marcus Freeman. So it certainly would not shock me if that were to happen. I am interested. I'm not going to watch it because I'm not going to give him my time.
Right.
But
I'll see it on Twitter.
Yeah. I'll see on Twitter what he says.
The 4 highlights will be on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody that
maybe he'll just address getting into a fight with that guy the other day.
That guy seemed like an opportunist.
Yeah, I think him and the Lions fan that got DK Metcalf so angry a few weeks ago cut from the same cloth.
Right. Terrible. That's a bad cloth. To be
That's bad. Yeah. Not a good person to be.
You're a human scammer.
Yeah.
All right, so the Bandits, but you're out on Jordan Renaud, and I believe, I don't have any basis on this, but I believe if you're going to the portal at this point, someone's tampering with you. Someone, hey, we got a spot for you. We got X million. That because you've already had players, Alabama players have already had their exit interviews with Coach DeBoer and Coach Womack, and they've probably already discussed parameters of, well, 2026 is going to look like this for you. We'll pay you that for you, and you'll be back this year if you like that. Because you got the first wave where I think they met with 30 players every day for the first 3 days. And and in those 30 players, you saw trickles of 3 or 4 guys. I'm in the portal. Okay, fine.
Maybe it didn't go the way I wanted.
Right. Have a great time. But at this point, I mean, the portal closes on Friday. And at this point, if you didn't go right after your exit interview, you're going now. Somebody's on the phone saying, we need a defensive lineman. You played for Alabama a little bit this year. Obviously played the last 3 games more this season, but his production was not great. His production never popped. No. It was fine player.
He was never a true difference maker.
Now I'm going to miss seeing number 11 on the defensive line just because 11 is my favorite number. But somebody else will pick up number 11.
Give it to Caleb Smith.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Do we think that had anything? Well, now I can't even remember which order the news broke.
Smith was before because right. I wrote them back to back. They were pretty close to each other, though.
I don't think that there's. I mean, I guess there's a chance that had something to do with the decision there. But
why would you run from a redshirt freshman?
I think I'm much more aligned with your theory here that he is most likely being tampered with by whatever program it's going to be.
Yeah, why would you run from a redshirt freshman who didn't play in any games last year?
Yeah. Which, and we throw the tampering allegations out. Alabama is tampering too.
Probably.
I mean, everyone in college football is tampering. It is just the way business is conducted now. So this is not some getting on my pedestal here. Oh, these other schools are cheating. Everybody's doing it. But there needs to be some sort of way to maybe address it in the future.
Yeah, probably so. Perfect transition. You get Caleb Smith coming in the transfer portal from Washington, Parker High School. You recognize former teammates with Jeremiah Beeman.
That's right. I couldn't remember who it was that played at Parker. That's right.
So Jeremiah Beeman was in the class of 24, and Caleb Smith was in the class of 25.
Dynamic duo.
Right. In 2024, Parker Thundering Herd, 5A state champions.
Pretty good football team.
Good little defensive line. Tearing some teams up.
Let's see if I can. I had his Max Preps page.
Oh, nice. Good. Because I never was able to find that stuff. Man, good idea.
Here we go. Caleb Smith, his senior year at Parker, 47 total tackles, 9.5 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks.
Let's get it.
I'll work with that.
Let's get it. 6'4". What do I have him as? Where do I put his height?
247 has him as 6'5", 270. But
yes, that's what I wrote down.
Okay,
6'5", 270.
Big old boy.
Chose Washington over Georgia Tech, Missouri, Oklahoma State, Memphis, and Purdue, and a bunch of other schools. Didn't really look like Alabama was ever on his radar as a high schooler, but take you back to Monday, take you back to Tuesday. The Moneyball approach is you look for somebody disgruntled, you look for somebody who didn't get an opportunity last year, you look for somebody who's got a local connection. Mm-hmm. Hey, Jeremiah. Hey.
What's the guy like?
Yeah, exactly. And hey, talk to him. Let him know what it's like.
You tamper with him. It's not tampering if you do it. It's probably how a lot of these teams are doing.
Right, 1,000%. And I'm pretty sure that you've got a good relationship with the Parker head coach. Golly, what is his name? Frank Smith. Is that right? I think it's Frank Smith. But you probably, hey Frank, what's the deal with this guy? Is he looking to move now? Caleb goes in the portal on the 7th. So a week ago, he was in the portal. So
Frank
it wasn't
Warren.
Thank you, Coach Warren. It goes in the portal a week ago, and so it's not like, hey, jump in the portal and come to Bama. He was already in the portal, and it's like, hey, this is good scouting. If somebody's already in the portal and you need defensive linemen, you probably can't pay $3 million for one.
Yep.
And you look and say, well, this guy played an hour up the road, won a state championship right here. Wonder if he'll consider coming back here. I think this is a really good get for Alabama.
I agree.
Redshirt freshman. Well, redshirted this year, so
Yeah.
will be a redshirt freshman, 4 years of eligibility, playing with his buddy Jeremiah Beeman. I think that this is in a position group of need. You're at now 14 offensive linemen. You're at 14 defensive linemen. Let's see. I wrote them all down in this article. You are at. You lost all those guys. You're at Caleb Smith, Devin Tompkins, and Kendrick Bingley-Jones in the transfer portal. You bring back Fatutua Henry, Steve Bolaboumwa. You bring back Isaiah Faga, London Simmons, Jeremiah Beeman, Edric Hill, and your freshmen. I'm not exactly positive how they're all going to fit in whether nose, bandit, or three technique. Jamari Matthews, Corey Howard, Kamarian Johnson, Nolan Wilson, and Malik Franklin. I think Nolan Wilson's going to be playing bandit. I think Kamarian Johnson's going to be playing bandit and or three technique. I think Malik Franklin's probably going to be playing nose. I think Corey Howard's a candidate to move to Wolf. And I think Jamarian Matthews is a candidate to move to Wolf also, but also a bandit candidate.
Yeah. I'm feeling it's a tough loss, but like you just said it, you got a plethora of guys back there who, while inexperienced, I think can fill the roles pretty well. Like, I feel good about all the names you ran off there. I don't think there's really, we haven't seen anything from, but I don't feel like there's any weak links in that room.
One interesting thing that I think is going on in this room and all throughout the roster is you're going to go into your third year post Nick Saban. And how many guys? Isaiah Faga stayed in the class for DeBoer. Jeremiah Beeman was already here. Jeremiah Beeman and Edric Hill are the two guys, the two Saban fellas, right, left on the roster in the defensive line room. And so I think that you're seeing a total reset of the roster. I think you're going to be really young next year. I think this room pretty much shows that you're going to be pretty young next year, and I think that shows your value of Kendrick Bingley-Jones, old man, 7th year in college football. Somebody can keep the young guys in line in the meeting room. So I think this is a good get, Caleb Smith, and we'll just see how he develops. I think he's going to take some time to develop. I wouldn't expect him to be a superstar next season, but I think this is a good addition. For the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into expectations or predictions or anything like this early because there's so much time until the season starts.
Sure.
But I don't think it would be crazy for Alabama fans to maybe start preparing a little bit that 26 is going to be a bit of all right, 27's the year. You're going to be a bit inexperienced in a lot of places this season. And while it might come together and they could be great, I think you have great potential in what you have on the team. It might just be a year where, all right, we're getting some experience and we're making a run in 27.
Yeah, retain and develop. Keith Connell on the YouTube. Hey, gang, Roll Tide from sunny New Mexico. Oh, man, New Mexico. Hope that's all going good. Have some Los Pollos Hermanos, right? Isn't that New Mexico?
I have no idea. I've never been to New Mexico.
Never seen Breaking Bad?
No.
Oh, well, I'm pretty sure that's I'm pretty sure that's the fictitious chicken joint from Breaking Bad.
I missed the Breaking Bad boat, and now I'm just, it's too late. I think I'll just never watch it at this point.
It's not too late.
Yeah. There's so many good there's too many shows.
Yeah,
I can't watch everything.
Yeah, Keith Collins.
I gotta miss some stuff. I gotta just. There's a few. There's The Wire's another one. I'm giving it a try. I can't do it.
What?
First season, some of the best TV you ever watch, and then it just falls off a cliff as soon as they hit those docks.
Oh, the doc season was good.
They've got can't do it. I've tried to watch it 3 or 4 times. I just can't. I love the first season. It's awesome.
They got a newspaper. season.
So I hear. I can't do it. I just can't get into it.
Oh, wow.
I finally came around and watched The Sopranos a few years ago. That was fantastic. Loved that.
10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. But there's just going to be shows I'll miss. And Breaking Bad, unfortunately, I think is going to fall into that camp at this point.
I watched Leonardo DiCaprio's new movie yesterday. What is it? One Battle After Another.
I want to watch it.
It was okay. It was pretty good. It wasn't great, but it was good enough for sure. Yeah.
There's been a lot of there's too much damn stuff to watch. It's can't do it all.
That's a great life lesson. Can't do it all. All right, so you lose Jordan Renaud. You bring in Caleb Smith, and this morning Matt Zenitz reports. Look, we said it already. Today's the NFL deadline day. This morning, Yanzi Pierre and Keon Sabb, both reports have both those young men returning for Keon Sabb, redshirt senior year, for Yanzi Pierre, redshirt junior year.
Love that.
I think Yanzi Pierre can make himself a lot of dadgum money.
And I have to imagine that was part of the bargaining of getting him to return, of like, hey, buddy, look, I know you've maybe heard you could be a second, third round pick, but you come back and you put together a good season, you are a surefire first rounder.
Yeah, I think Keon Sabb is looking at a similar thing, not to where he's a first rounder, but to where I can make more money staying at Alabama than I can be being an undrafted. Exactly, being an undrafted free agent. And so for Alabama, you keep like the secondary looks.
Oh, man.
You talk
so
about
much experience.
Yeah. You talk about being a developmental year. Well, gonna be tough to throw the ball on the Crimson Tide this coming season. Xavier Brown, Dijon Lee. You're gonna have Xavier Brown, Dijon Lee. You're gonna have Red Morgan. You're gonna have Bray Hubbard. You're gonna have Keon Sabb. You got Dre Kirkpatrick Jr. back yesterday, and I would imagine that Dre Kirk is gonna be fresh off suspension at the start of the year next year. They'll probably work through all the legal issues that he had over the offseason. And we say that it wasn't like like triple felonies.
Yeah, man.
It was it was a bad
drove away from a traffic stop.
Yeah, it was a bad traffic violation. Sure. It was. So we're not excusing the young man, but we're also not
going to crucify him for it either.
Right. So he pays his punishment. I mean, his punishment was daggone what? 6 games, 7
if
games,
not more. 8? Yeah. We missed the whole back half of the season, basically.
Right. So he pays his punishment, and look him up. Could he still redshirt? Look, did he only participate in that few games this past year? And so the secondary looks just really, really, really loaded. You bring in Carmelo Hayes. Is that the guy from Mercer that you brought in as well?
Played in 8 games this year.
8 games, so too many. Unfortunate, but that's okay.
Hey, well, maybe if this new 9-game thing goes through, you said
that's horrible.
Yeah, I am all for loosening up the restrictions on red shirts a bit. But that's way too much. Yeah, I mean that's a full season.
Right. So, hey, coach, you got fired in October. I'm redshirting. Like Oklahoma State, it happened at Oklahoma State where the whole team basically quit. And I mean, obviously Alabama took advantage of it with getting.
Should not. That needs to not be allowed to happen.
Like when did Brian Kelly get fired? Was that 9 games into the year? We'll say same thing with Hugh Freeze. Is that 9 games into the year?
Definitely.
Like you get these coaches fired because season's gone to the toilet. We're going to go in a different direction, and then because this season didn't count for me. I'm redshirting. I'm quitting the team. I'm going to the portal.
You're going to have a swath of 30-year-olds playing college
Terrible.
Yeah, that's the complete opposite way that we need to be going. We do not need to be getting older in college football.
Carmelo O'Neal was the defensive back from Mercer, not Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes is a wrestler. Yeah. Oops.
Slip of the mind.
That's all right.
Well, we'll know Carmelo O'Neal's name by the fall.
He's going to be playing a little slot corner. He's going to be playing third quarter. He and Red Morgan are going to be probably.
I'm so glad you got Red Morgan back. Not that I thought there was any chance you leave him or lose him, really, but I'm just glad that he's going to be on this team next year.
Speaking about not any chance you lose him, Alabama's driven me crazy during the portal. Driven me absolutely crazy.
I think and maybe I didn't, but I have not really seen any of their stuff, so I think I may have muted that account on Twitter because I got annoyed with it at some point over the last several months.
We understand you're the NIL entity, and I hope, look, if you guys feel like that's worth your money, great. Do it. Awesome. $50 a month, $5 a month, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Do it. But we don't need return graphics for players that still have eligibility.
I hate that.
Marshall Pritchett, Caden Jones, Drake Kirkpatrick. That's who they're tweeting out. Marshall Pritchett resigns.
What else was he going to do?
Return. Right. Hey, buddy, you're just enrolling for the next semester.
Yeah,
you're just still in college.
Can we get like Marshall Pritchett picked out his classes for next year graphic or something? Like
right, and like there's nothing against Marshall. There's nothing against Caden Jones. Caden was on the show as a recruit. Mm-hmm. Like if you want to look that up, he was great on here. It was a good interview. Just type in Caden Jones, Joe Gaither, you'll see it.
Yeah, it's
like
a principal thing,
and I really appreciate him being there. But exactly, you're just staying in school. You're just doing what everybody else did before you, before the college football world went upside down and topsy-turvy.
Yep.
Like, you just re-enrolled the next semester. It used to be like, give me a graphic if homeboy's leaving,
Sure.
right? Get on 3 Sports, Hayes Fawcett, whatever. Give me a graphic. Billy's going to the transfer portal.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a graphic if he's returning, but he's got NFL NFL status, like Bray Hubbard, Yanzi Pierre, Keon Sabb. They've got NFL status. Okay, great. Those guys get a graphic. But if you're a freshman, if you're a sophomore and you haven't played, if you're a redshirt, like, you don't get no graphic.
Yeah.
You're just re-enrolling for the next semester.
Yeah, that's infuriating.
To me, I think I wondered if Alabama just has a minimum post count requirement. And I was just like, okay, yeah,
possible.
Makes sense. But no, sign up for Alabama if that's what you're into. Not talking anything bad about that process really, because I think it is important for the fans. But I also don't think you've seen a lot of, if you're not signed up for Alabama, you can't complain about this coaching staff. Well,
I don't think that's the case.
I don't think that's the case, and I don't think you should be complaining about this coaching staff anyways,
Sure.
because of all the things we've outlined over the last 4 days of just money ball and where you are money wise, but come on, guys, if in this day and time, I'm not trying to get anybody in anybody's wallet.
Yeah.
And look, the money may be really flowing for you and maybe really not flowing for someone else. And so, like, you got to discuss ROI. You've got to discuss value for yourself and make those personal decisions.
Sure.
To me, Keith Collin, we're wrapping up right here. I appreciate you watching us. We did talk about the basketball win at the very beginning of the program. You're exactly right. Big win in Stark Vegas last night. We needed that.
Needed it bad.
Oh, big time.
Needed it real bad.
And needed a time where everybody rallied together.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're down 15.
Did you see the video that they posted after of the Hard Hat Award presentation?
No, I just saw Amari
Nate flips it to Amari and immediately pops it off his head and gives it to Aiden Sherrill.
Hey,
Mudita.
Yeah, right. You need that.
That's what you're looking for.
Hey, we're down 15. Everybody's in the huddle, rah, at each other, and not really at each other, but hey, come on, Billy, come on, Charlie, come on, Aiden, come on, LeBaron.
I'd much rather have a team of guys that are not afraid to yell at each other than a team of guys who are all walking on eggshells.
Right. So I thought last night's win was I don't want to say pivotal because that's overselling it, but I do think important, really important to, hey, we're snipping this 2-game losing streak in the bed, and we can start going on a run. We're beating Mississippi State. We're beating Oklahoma on Saturday. We're going to try to go on a run. The big rival against Tennessee coming up, Missouri, winnable games.
I mean,
trying to build to that Florida game.
If they do go on a run, like, I think this could absolutely be a moment that, by season's end, we all look back. You remember that Mississippi State game? It feels like that's kind of where it all came together.
Yeah, I totally agree. Mason, anything else you got for the people today? Any other topics you've got on your brain? I think we're pretty much run through the list.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else. I was trying yesterday to find any kind of basketball news about any of the Alabama guys, Terrace Bowie, and then maybe seeing if there's any updates for Caleb Holt. Unable to find anything. I think Caleb Holt is keeping everything very close to the.
I think Caleb Holt's not going to come to Alabama.
I don't feel great.
I mean, take you back to Emily Small, Tuscaloosa News says $2.9 million for the whole roster.
Yeah, I don't.
And I bet you LeBaron's getting like
1.2 of that.
Yeah, close to half, not half, but closer to half. And so it's like, well, LeBaron's going to move on. Do you take that half and then you give it to Caleb Holt,
freshman? Yeah, I mean, he's good. Don't get me wrong, but like,
well, somebody else is going
to be good too.
Well, somebody else is going to give him that half. Somebody else is going to give him more than that half, probably.
Houston,
right? They're going to say, "Oh, we
Kentucky,
got right.
Kentucky's going to throw a bag at him. He's a wildcat.
We got $2 million.
They'll just give him 5 and say forget about it.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. We got more money than Alabama's entire NIL. And so it's like,
it's just a tough spot to be in and I guess it's a good problem to have. Nate Oates has elevated this basketball program to such a point where you are in competition for these high-level guys, for these number 1 overall recruits, but you're still a football school.
I think this current freshman class, the Amari Allen, London Jemison, Davion Hannah class, even Collins Onyechaka is the money ball approach.
Yeah.
You've got 3- and 4-star recruits that were they high? Yeah, a little bit, but they weren't Duke wasn't going after all of them. Kentucky wasn't going after all of them. And he's like, well, I'll just go up to Wisconsin and get Amari Allen. And I just think that he fits our program. He fits what we do. He's the right size, the right length. And I'm sure Amari Allen's making some money, but he ain't making he is making less money than what his value is right now on the court.
Absolutely.
So, and so I think that's the approach of the blueprint going forward for this basketball team. And so nice to see that kind of paying off a little bit so far this year. So we'll see how it continues. We'll watch Caleb Holt. We'll see what happens.
I mean, we'll see. Look, I'm not gonna, say it one way or the other, but I don't feel great about it.
Yeah, I don't either. So just 2 more days of transfer portal watch. There's nobody else NFL draft wise that we're thinking about, is there? No. Parker declared for the draft.
Damani declared, right?
Right. Damani's out of eligibility.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was a senior this year.
Let me just double check this real quick. Looking at the RollTide.com roster, Alabama football roster. We'll see all the red shirts.
You see what Isaiah Horton said? God guided him to Texas A&M.
God, yeah, that's exactly right. God guided him to Texas A&M. He also, what people haven't said that much, is played 7-on-7 with Marcel Reed. So
learn something new,
right? And it's like, yes, the money's probably a huge factor, but it's also comfortability of, hey, I'm going to go play
with a buddy,
with a guy who knows me, likes me, and is going to treat me right.
Going to target me a lot.
Right, exactly. So let's see. All these redshirt sophomores is where we start. All right, gone. Staying. Connor Schulte, NFL draft. You've got Braves returning, gone. James Smith. You've got all the way through. We're still with you. David Byrd, gone. Transfer portal, so sad. Okay, Caden Proctor, gone. Keon Sabb, returned. Batutua Henry, returned. Ty Simpson, gone. Ellsworth, gone. Danny Lewis Jr., NFL draft. I'm frankly shocked that Danny Lewis Jr. has not gone in the portal yet, honestly.
Yeah. Just a change of scenery.
And that's it. So really, Danny Lewis Jr. is the only other upperclassman decision that you're kind of waiting on. And that's going to be either today, he's going to go to the draft and be a undrafted free agent, or he's going to portal out by Friday.
Probably right.
So we'll see what happens with the football team over the next 2 days and with the additions over the next 2 days. We appreciate everybody joining us on the comment section. Keith Connell, enjoy those Los Pollos Hermanos. Enjoy New Mexico. Hope that's going well for you, sir. Ollie Woods, thanks for chiming in on the YouTube machine as well. We appreciate everybody who has called us on the voicemail line. We had a couple calls earlier in the week. Feel free to call. Let us know what you think about Ty Simpson. Do Ty Simpson's comments make you feel any differently about the back half of the year? 205-462-7340, extension 800. If you want to be a part of the show, we'd appreciate any of your voicemails. Dax, I'm missing you, man. I hope you're doing well. We've had a lot of fun this week. We're going to continue to have fun the rest of the week, and we'll talk to you again on Thursday right here on the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central, BamaCentral.com.
Thanks for joining us on today's edition of the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central. Keep up with Joe on all his social media pages at Joe Gaither6. Subscribe, rate, and review the show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and be sure to read us daily at BamaCentral.com.